I played a game that's currently in closed beta. I got a code for Marvel Rivals, which is Marvel's take on a hero shooter, a hero team-based shooter. It is a 6v6 Overwatch-like that is in the Marvel universe, or with all the Marvel characters taking on the roles of all the heroes. It's in closed beta for another week, I think, and then scheduled for release not long after. It is over. Let's point out the Hulk in the room. It is Overwatch with Marvel characters, but I think it does a lot of things well. It is polished as all hell, but probably
it certainly looks it.
Not in the way that Blizzard's hero shooter was polished in a gameplay sense. It is polished in a design and a sort of aesthetic sense, and what it feels like going into play. It does have a few serious points of difference between Overwatch. You run in there with your team of 5 other players, and there are the standard modes. You're pushing the payload or capturing the points. That's all I've seen so far in the closed beta. Those points of difference are that there is destructible environments. Unfortunately, that's really superficial and surface level. I have really not seen that change the way the game is played. It is more, I would say, chaotic than I was expecting, in the sense that I think Overwatch really... Well, I want to say Overwatch feels like they developed this genre. I might be wrong in saying that I don't know if there were any sort of team first-person hero class shooters before Overwatch. So I think a lot of games cop flack for being a rip-off of Overwatch, where it feels like for me they developed a genre that was really fantastic and popular, and so everyone that's been sort of trying to...
Oh, Team Fortress.
Yeah, Team Fortress is
2.
definitely up there. I think in terms of a hero shoot, like they were definitely classes. I think but yes, you are right. That has existed before. The way Blizzard put their polish on it, everyone's been trying to replicate that since, to lesser success. Things like Concord recently had a beta that was not received particularly well. I think the advantage with somewhere like Marvel coming in is that they have, extensive catalog of heroes, of lore, of everything to draw on, which does just quickly make you go, fucking props to Blizzard for then coming out of the gate going, we're going to develop a whole roster of characters that we're going to make that people are going to instantly pick favorites from and like become so attached to. And they're going to do that with none of the pre-existing stuff that Marvel has, or that an IP like Marvel does.
Yeah.
Remembering that Overwatch was Titan for 10 years, like they'd spent a long time building characters for an MMO.
Totally. And to the point they released movies about short films.
And they're going to be really popular on the worst websites.
But yeah, what you see here is very much... while it is you are playing it on the side of a team, I found in my short time playing it, it does not feel like I can get that teamwork to... to feel like I'm playing as part of a team. I am playing quick matches with randoms who are also playing a closed beta, so everyone is finding their feet. And in that, I do think there is an over-reliance at the moment on DPS and frontlining. A lot of people, or every character seems to just be rushing to the front line to get in front of everyone else. And so I think the idea of playing support classes while they are there in the character's abilities, of which there are many, and they are going to take a while for you to learn. I will get to that momentarily, Nick.
Jesus Christ.
I do think this is a bit messy currently in its current form, to do with the amount of not only visual clutter you're seeing on screen, but also every character's abilities are there's a range. Everyone seems to have, a projectile, something they can plant, something they can, that has then a visual effect on other characters. And when everyone combines that on a point, it does exactly what you saw there, that turns into an absolute bit of a flustercluck. That said, I am aware of the fact that these days, the current gaming generation can matrix look through the code.
What they're saying.
They can look at what they do. And I remember that from Overwatch. Like, I do remember playing chaotic matches, but I could still focus on what I was doing, what I was hitting, what I was supporting, while this chaos was happening around me. Here, that is a lot trickier, just due to the amount of bombast around that you are seeing with every character feeling like they are the main hero charging forward. Even the sound effects that you hear there, every character's ulti charges very quickly and has like a screen takeover with audio. So it just turns into literal chaos.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Sorry to cut you off, Gus.
please.
If I close my eyes right now,
Yep.
it could be Overwatch footage. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get over the sound design and how similar that is.
Totally. There are things in there that while I was sort of semi-defending anything that's coming along in the shadow of Overwatch, there are some elements of it that are just obvious
Straight lifts.
straight lifts from it, be it in the UI, be it in a lot of the sound design. One character in front of me just there is Penny Parker, who's actually a mech with a girl in a little bodysuit who does this as her little pose.
So it's Diva.
Who was who Penny Parker was a character that came out and was created, I believe, after Overwatch came out. So
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
there are homages, but there are also direct lifts.
And can you play Howard the Duck?
No, you can't, but you can play Jeff the Shark. The land shark. And there are some characters in here that I was not familiar with, but Will was watching me play this, and he's like, that's all legit, that's all legit. And these are all characters, some a little left of field outside of your main staples. I played as Iron Man, I played as Hulk, and I played as Punisher. Punisher is Soldier 76.
Does Hulk have a gun?
No, Hulk is a bit more like Diva in the sense that starts as Bruce Banner, just with a little single-shot pistol, and can transform into Hulk. So the creativity with the abilities is fantastic. And this is me playing on PC, so I was just getting that real quick mouse keyboard action going.
Yeah.
But that brings me to the point, which is my main criticism about this game, and again, maybe it's my age showing, but it is just incredibly... it feels too fast. It feels like there's not enough weight to both how you move and play in this game, and also how everyone else is moving, to the point that it just feels like it needs to be slowed down 10% or something like that. There is console versions of this which I believe can turn off crossplay, and I'm actually really curious to try playing this with a bit of nerfed controller aim and everyone else doing the same thing, because I think there could be a lot more strategy to that. I think in the way that when you played Overwatch, it was running a little slower, so there were people. May could throw down an ice wall. Reinhardt could stand there and be ready to charge. Everyone could look around and see what everyone else was doing. And this is original 6v6 Overwatch 1 I'm talking about here, even though they've gone to... Is it 4v4 in Overwatch 2, I believe?
I think
5v5.
5v5.
Yeah, just dropped one.
Yeah, even in 1, which again I played a lot of, and I really do miss my days of that. You could see what the team around you was doing. I just at no point knew what anyone else on my team was doing here. It just, as I said, it felt like you could occasionally focus fire on one enemy. That is another feature that they've touted here is something that is unique to this game, which is that there is character synergies. There are certain characters that when they are together, they will either buff each other just by proxy, but also there's an ability you can use when you're near your partner character. For instance, Rocket is, and they're not just the traditional ones, but Rocket can jump on Groot's shoulders, but Rocket can also, if they're near the Punisher, throw down an ammo box, which is unlimited ammo, no reloads for the Punisher.
Okay.
So if you put that together, you are unstoppable in a little area. And so there are synergies there that I think people will come up with some major strats for that are really useful. But you're going to have to be on comms. You're going to all have to know your roles, and you're going to all have to know your abilities and put time into it, which at the moment I haven't done. Am I going to do that? Probably not. This is going to live on my computer as a game that I jump into for a quick play with my one main and two supports that I think I like. Jumping into some other characters felt distinctly different, and I was like, oh, these are all going to take time to learn, and I'm not sure if I have the patience in the way this game feels in its current form.
Yeah.
But I think,
And obviously this is a beta, right? Like this is the point of this is
Closed
to
beta,
yeah, absolutely, it's a closed beta. They're trying to get a sense of game feel, and they'll be looking at all the numbers and who's killing things too quickly and at what distances and all of that. So a lot of your concerns could be addressed. This is a major investment, and it's I'm sure they're going to look to support it for a number of years if it does well enough.
they did, and you're right, like Overwatch 1 in its beta and stuff had major changes that people were like, oh, this ability is
Characters
gone.
get entirely reworked.
Completely. So I think this is by NetEase, and I think if they're not
They make
using...
antivirus software, right?
It does feel like that. I feel like if they're not taking all the information from this and looking at restructuring elements of it, I'd like to see a quite substantially different game, because at the moment, it does feel like it is just everything thrown in there just for the sake of testing maybe server load and
It's
how people play.
beautiful right up until the match starts.
Do you know what's
and then
really-
I'm so turned off.
Yeah.
It's a really pretty game when it's not moving.
Yeah.
In screenshots, and I will say, while it does borrow a lot of pages out of the Overwatch book as well in the menu and UI navigation, it is polished AF.
Yeah.
The menus, the character art, the art style itself, and the animation and stuff, I love. And again, there's some real polish and some flourishes in the menus that really show a lot of love for how much people love these characters in just even the way they move around the menus and stuff. It's fantastic. But yeah, once it's moving, and again, that hit detection, both in the melee and even with ranged, it just doesn't feel like it has weight. And it just, I think if they rejig that and they iron that out and maybe address some of the abilities and the cooldowns, I think this has potential to sit happily alongside an Overwatch now that they've kind of shat the bed. As a game that I had a lot more fun with this than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who's always looking for my next hero shooter, being a big fan of original Overwatch. I'm looking forward to getting in this when it releases, but I don't know if it's gonna. Again, I'm just being skeptical. I don't know if it has the longevity for me. I don't have this excitement for it that I did with some other hero shooters. So
Yeah.
but I'm a minority. I think people are really, really.
Yeah, I've
more
heard
into
a
this
lot of
than-
positive stuff about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, even though people are feeling a bit fatigued by the live service games, I will say, because Overwatch has completely shit the bed in terms of their second game, it feels like the perfect time for a good replacement to come out. I can't wait to see what it is.
I think this will
And
definitely be.
in a really cynical way, this having Marvel attached to it
That's it. Yeah.
Is gonna
gives
make
it the best chance of
Oh my
succeeding
God,
because
yeah.
people just fucking froth for that.
I-
and they're going to tie in characters when they release any new
Totally.
TV show or movie.
Yeah.
It's got.
Yeah.
I
it's
didn't
gonna
think it would have me,
It markets
and
itself.
I didn't think it would have me pulled into it, but I jumped in as Iron Man, who's a great character to start out as, who sort of stays out of the battlefield up high verticality and just rains down sort of shots from a distance so you can stay out of that chaos.
Yep.
Probably the best way to be introduced to this game.
Right.
Watch it from afar. But the voice acting in that character, the abilities and the costumes I've seen people play, I was like, I really do love Iron Man. I'm like, do I? Or am I just riding that Marvel train of hype? But there's a character in here that you will love regardless. And I always like that about hero shooters. It's finding that character and that play style. So
Yeah.
that's got me the most excited. Once I have that character and I play that character to death, I don't know if this is going to have the legs for me, but again, I might be just someone who's played a bit too much hero of these kind of shooters.
Yeah.
It's good fun, and I think
You did dive into Overwatch heavily, didn't you?
I main
Yeah.
Diva hard, and I
Okay,
played.
Diva.
No, I love that. I miss it. I miss it.
Rest in peace.
Hulk's my new Diva.